I'm in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and one thing on my travels that I don't really get to is antique malls. I'm usually rushing to hit as many museums and roadside attractions as possible in a day. I skip out on antique malls, which have a lot of cool stuff. So today that's what I'm focusing on, is going to antique malls here in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and yeah, let's go check these out. My first stop is the Trackside Antique Mall. This looks good. It's called the Trackside Mall because it is along the railroad tracks, and there's actually some train here. That is awesome. I don't know if it's abandoned or not. I just climbed on top of it. You can see more trains over there. Those might be abandoned too. There's graffiti on them, but even active trains have graffiti on them. Yeah, this place looks amazing. There's a couple old typewriters. This is amazing. This is a 1926 National Cash Register. Beautiful. There's some salt and pepper shakers and some Pez dispensers. Oh, here's some old doctor stuff. BG's lunchbox. That's a secret Masonic box. And here's some coins. I'm pretty sure this is a replica, but this is a playbill for Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater on April 14th. 1865 that Lincoln went to, and you know what happened from there. Here's some Wizard of Oz dolls, and they have an Elvis doll for adult collectors, it says on the box. Here's a bunch of dolls. Alright, I found the most questionable case. You can see on these nice illustrations they have put. Oh, I think they missed right there. But other than that, next to this boob jar are these racist salt and pepper shakers. Here's some old cameras and equipment. This is a pretty great antique store. They have a lot of stuff. They have some old instruments in this case. I think that's a kid's toy. Oh yeah, and some... it's a daisy. That's super creepy. They have some old Legos and a Pillsbury Doughboy. Here's an old telephone. Looks like it's 185. Not bad. That's a doll of Red Skelton, who was one of the earliest comedians from Vincennes, Indiana. They've got a lot in this place. It's really cool. This used to be used at a cafe for gas, to pay for gas. This is an old Uncle Sam cookie jar. That's terrifying. And here's some vintage postcards. That's of St. Luke's Hospital in New York. There's writing on this one. These are so cool. Fremont Hotel, Los Angeles. This is of Saltaire. It used to be on the south side of the Great Salt Lake. There's a similar building there now, but it used to be a resort. It's so cool. This is an old National Rotary sewing machine. Here's more salt and pepper shakers. Nothing like the Museum of Salt and Pepper Shakers in Gatlinburg. Mount Vernon, probably from George Washington's distillery there. I like that desk. Those are old George Washington busts. This is awesome. This is like an Elvis music box made out of porcelain. There's actually a couple of them. And they have all sorts of old books. And they have some military uniforms. This is a canteen. That might be a parachute thing. That's sheriff's uniform. This is really cool. This is a French version of the Lone Ranger in the Lost City of Gold. Le Justicier mask, the masked cop or something. There's some Elvis Pez dispensers and some Star Trek ones. There's all sorts of old things. I'm not sure what most of these are. And they have antlers hanging from the ceiling with chandeliers. There's a ball jar of the Ball Brothers in Muncie, Indiana. And that was just the first floor. Plenty more to look at. Here's some antique foreign currency. Don't think I have any of these, but I do have a pretty big collection. Here's some sculpture replicas with a bust of Lincoln. Oh, the head's not attached. I didn't do that. Pretty much all of this is guerrilla money from the Philippines in World War II. During the Japanese occupation, as part of the resistance, some of the local governments tried to print emergency currency, even though they could be executed for carrying it. And this is some of it. You got some old cowboy stuff here. There's some Pepsi bottles. And here's some saddles. Vintage postcards are so fun to look through. Seen that. Haven't been there. Been there. Some Gold Digger's license. Zion. There's a taxidermy deer mount with a hat. There's a lot of dolls right here. I hate antique dolls. They're so creepy. Like, what? I wouldn't even want these in their house. I don't understand. That's an Elvis phone. I think this is the military room. With some antique snowshoes. This is an original Look magazine from December 3rd, 1963 with JFK and JFK Jr. That's just about 15 days after his assassination. This is Jenny Lind Pottery, and she was a famous opera singer. She was called the Swedish Nightingale, and she was associated with P.T. Barnum. She's in The Greatest Showman, which is an excellent movie. You've seen that, but yeah, it says Jenny Lind. There's some cool stuff in this case. That's an RAF hat, Union Pacific, stock certificate, Kent Constable, Rock and Roll Elmo. I didn't have this one when I was a kid. I had Tickle Me Elmo. That was scary. And now I'm in the basement. Still a lot more to go through. I really should stop in antique stores more often because they are really like museums. You can just buy stuff and they're kind of unorganized, but I'm really enjoying myself here. Here's an old organ. You can see all the different buttons. Not sure what they did. Doesn't work. I really like these Civil War commemorative steins. You can see Grant, Capitol Building. That one's Chattanooga, and Yorktown. Here's a Stein collection. That's really cool. And there's some old Coke stuff. It's funny the things you find when you're on like your second or third lap through. Found this old TV and stereo. I don't know how I missed it the first two times, but that is awesome. There's an old King Kong poster. This head here is only $22. If you were trying to make a mannequin or a wax figure, this is your place. I've spent way too much time in this one shop. I wasn't expecting to spend this long. Of course, in Idaho Falls, this is Mormon territory, and you got an antique Brigham Young portrait. That's a pretty cool portrait. That's at least 100 years old. Plenty more Coke and Pepsi bottles. There's a Life magazine on Fidel Castro. This is 1961. They've even got stuff for the bronies. Here's some old, depressed looking My Little Ponies. That one's sad. Now I'm at the second giant antique store in Idaho Falls, Northgate Antiques. Let's go check this out. This place is also pretty massive. Got a lot of stuff in here. There's an Elvis portrait. Here's a Stein and a mini typewriter. This is really cool. This is a Singer sewing machine. And I think if you lift this part up, I'm not going to do it in case they don't want me to, the sewing machine will come out. There's just a lonely Cabbage Patch doll on this rocking chair. Does anyone else find these things creepy? Here's some cool gas lamps. Not very practical anymore. There's some books, some cool pottery. There's an old wheelchair with a kit to build that. It's probably pretty old. This has a lot of dishes and stuff. And here's more salt and pepper shakers. Again, nothing like the museum in Gatlinburg. That's a session clock. There's a bunch of old books. Some busts. I remember these. These are little golden books. I read these as a kid. And it's Barney. I hate Barney though. And that is Poe, the gay one. I didn't know that as a child. That's a giant Darth Vader Pez dispenser. And there's some cool Beatles pins. Yeah, this place is freaking massive. It's one floor, but it's super long. There's a lot of furniture in this part. Here's some old Mickeys and jars. This thing is terrifying. That's a chamber pot and a Westinghouse sewing machine. 1931 Montgomery Ward radio. Here's another old organ. And that's an Elkhead. I just got questioned why I was videotaping. I gotta be sneaky. That is the best cookie jar ever.
What are you doing in my swamp?
There's another singer. Here's a Miss Piggy doll. So yeah, before I end the video, there's a couple roadside stops that I want to get on video here in Idaho Falls, and one of them is this Native American carving by Peter Taw. People honking at me. Don't respect vloggers, man. So this is a 27-foot tall Douglas fir carving by Peter Taw. He has one of these banana-like carvings, doesn't it look like a banana, of Native Americans in every state. I've been to one other one. There's one of Tecumseh in Vincennes, Indiana. It does say he made all these sculptures to raise the nation's conscience to the plight of the Native Americans. Very cool. I just wanted to check out this place, Wild West Designs. They're closed, but they have some cool wood carvings on the outside. Some bears and stuff. I think this is concrete, but you can see the bear trying to get the Mountain Man. There's also some barbed wire art. Don't give me tetanus. Here's the sign, and this appears to be an elk wood carving. That's really cool. This is awesome. This is probably like 10 to 12 feet. A giant grizzly bear wood carving. Alright, so I did want to show my haul from Trackside Antiques. I do have like a collection of like old stuff. I have my own museum, actually, but I'm trying not to buy anything else for it because when I go off to college, I'm probably gonna have to sell the whole thing anyways. So yeah, but I did get some books. I couldn't help myself. I got this. This is a 1923 edition of Jules Verne's Mysterious Island. You can see right there. It's cool. And then I did find this really awesome book, the Civil War Almanac. What's really cool about this one, it's not that long of a read, but one thing I think about when you think about these wars, you know, they're so complex and there's so many things happening each day. And this book actually goes day by day. Which way? I'm not used to this. Yeah, so that's really cool. I'm excited to read that. And then Northgate, the one I was just at, I got another book. This is about James G. Blaine. It is, what year was this? Hold on. 1893. This is an 1893 book. And James G. Blaine, after the Civil War, he was one of the major Republicans. I believe he was Speaker of the House and also Governor of Maine. So I'm interested to see how this book is. This is, I think, right after he died. Let's see, I also got this. I've been looking for CDs for my new car. I've been listening to Beatles and ELO. I have like 3 albums. Been listening to the same thing for like 5 months. So I've been getting a bunch of new albums. This was $2. Tchaikovsky, Swan Lake. Can't go wrong with Tchaikovsky because I'm the only kid who listens to classical music. And I found these. These are awesome. These are original Beatles pins. As you can see, there's an Abbey Road pin. It's one of my favorite albums. And also, Let It Be. You can see that. That's awesome. I'm really happy I found those. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. If anyone's watching this still, tell me if you liked me going to antique stores. I might try to start doing that more because that was a lot of fun. But anyways, if you like stuff like this, I have tons of other videos on museums, roadside attractions, national parks, and yeah, thanks for watching.